We are doing code 8 now, paper 2. John Bebenchilo, I did mention that you do not need to be writing code 8 to learn some of these concepts. It also apply even if you are going to write code 10, even if you are going to write code 14. It means that you will be experiencing different versions of that particular paper. So yeah, just scrolling, start from the beginning, Goku, and yeah, I'll get started. And then afterwards, we can maybe have a small chat. And yeah, that's it. Okay, this should be question 1. Here's the first question. If you want to turn left, with your vehicle, you must, the question is A, slow down completely. B, turn right. A, slow down completely and then turn. B, give the necessary signal in good time. C, move to the right to enable you to turn left easily. So the answer here is B. It says give the necessary signal in good time. That's the answer. Then let's move on to the next question. What does this road signal? What does this road worker signal drivers to do? Is it A, proceed with caution, B, to stop, C, to turn back? So the answer here is B, to stop. All right? Where may you legally stop your vehicle? Is it A, 4 meters from a tunnel, B, 5 meters from a pedestrian crossing, C, 6 meters from a railway crossing? The question again is, where may you legally stop your vehicle? So the answer here is C, it's 6 meters from a railway crossing. That means these other two are illegal, right? And then let's move on to the next question. When are you allowed to drive your vehicle on the right-hand side of the road with traffic moving in directions? So here we have these options. We have option A, when a officer shows you to do so. B, when you switch the emergency lights of your vehicle. C, under no circumstances. So the answer in this case, it's A, when a traffic officer instructs you to do so. And then let's move on to the next question. The next question is, which control is used to check the vehicles at the back? Is it A, number 4, B, number 11, or C, number 3? The answer is number 3. Number 3 are the side mirrors if you look at your vehicle controls. Then let's move on to the next question. To accelerate your vehicle, you must use is it A, number 6, B, number 2, or C, number 8? So the answer here is number 10. Number 10 is what? Is the accelerator. Then the next question. How far may you park from the left edge of a roadway outside an urban area? Is it A, not more than 450 millimeters from the edge of the roadway? B, more than 1 meter off the roadway? C, a vehicle may not be parked on a public road unless in a parking bay. So the correct answer in this case is C. A vehicle may not park in a public road unless it's in a parking bay. And then let's move on to the next one. We see we have a sign there of a small vehicle and a heavy vehicle. And the question there is, this sign warns you of. So we are being asked what this sign warns us of. We have these options. We have option A, which is heavy motor vehicles that might be moving on a slow declining. Let me read that again. Heavy motor vehicles that might be moving slow on a declining slope ahead. B, a stop heavy motor vehicle ahead. C, an accident involving a light and heavy motor vehicle ahead. So the correct answer there is A, heavy motor vehicles that might be moving slow on a declining slope, right? And then let's move on to the next one. The question is, to ensure that your parked vehicle does not move, you use A, number 8, number 7, C, number 9. So the answer here is number 7. And number 7 is the parking brake. And you may not, number 1, run the engine unattended. Number 2, use your vehicle without a cap on the fuel tank. Number 3, spin the wheels of your vehicle when pulling off. So the correct answer here is C, which is all of the above. And the next question is, the only instance where you may stop on a freeway is A, to obey a road traffic sign, B, for rest during a tiring journey, or C, to pick up hitchhikers. So the correct answer there is A, to obey road traffic signs. And the next question is, if you want to change lanes, you must A, switch on your indicator and change lanes. B, apply the brakes slightly and then change lanes. C, give necessary signal after looking for other traffic and change lanes. So the correct answer there is C. And the next question is, how far behind must the warning triangle be placed if your vehicle breaks down? In this case, I think I did not highlight the correct answer. So the correct answer is it's at least 45 meters. It's A, at least 45 meters. That's the correct answer there. How far behind a vehicle must the warning be placed if your vehicle breaks down? So that's the answer. It's at least 45 meters, which is it's A. When do you have the right of way? Is it number 1, when you are within a traffic circle? Number 2, when you have stopped first at a four-way stop? Number 3, when you want to turn right at an intersection in a two-way road? So the correct answer there is number 1 and number 2, which is it's A. Number 1 and number 2 are correct. And then let's move to the next question. Which one of these says you must turn right? Is it A, is it B, or C? So the correct answer there is C. C, you must turn right when you are traveling. If your vehicle is traveling at C, it's a must that you turn right. And the next question, if you come to a robot and the red light flashes, you must. The correct answer there is A, stop and go only if it is safe to do so. If you come across a robot and the red light flashes, you must stop and go if it is safe to do so. Which is the correct answer considering this signal? Here's our signal, and the correct answer here is B. When the green man is glowing, which is the green man when it's glowing, pedestrians may walk, and when the red man is glowing, red man at the top, when the red man is glowing, okay, when the green man is glowing, pedestrians may walk across, and when the red man is glowing, pedestrians may not walk. So that is what is true concerning that side. To indicate that you are going to turn, you must use number. You must use C, which is number 5. Number 5 is the switch indicator. So you use the switch indicator to indicate that you are going to turn. What is the purpose of this information sign? I think we've come across this question and we can go straight to the answer. The answer there is B, to count down the distance to the next exit on a freeway. Can the person please shut their mic? Can the person with an open mic please switch off the mic? Okay, the answer there is to count down the distance to the next exit on a freeway. So like I did explain that these lines represent 100 meters. If there are 2, is 200 meters. If there are 3, is 300 meters. So these are indicators of an exit on a freeway, right? They are countdown indicators. And then next question is, what does this road sign indicate road users of? So the answer there is a lane reserved for a vehicle belonging to a specific company or organization. It's a lane reserved for a vehicle belonging to a specific company or organization. When you see that sign, know that it's a lane reserved for a vehicle belonging to a specific company or organization. The use of a temporary sign implies that for some reason, A, the rules of the road do not apply. B, circumstances on the road are not normal. C, the traffic has moved slowly. So I think this is more or less of the same question. Therefore, the answer here it's B. It means that when like a temporary sign, which is that sign is not there forever. When it's placed, it means that the circumstances of the road are no longer the same. They are not normal. Let me give you an example. When there is construction of a road, the rules changed to a certain degree of that particular road. A road that was once now a one-way road is now being utilized as a two-way road because now the rules have changed because of the construction that is taking place. So to make sure that those rules are followed, temporary signs are introduced. It means that now the circumstances of the road are no longer the same, they have changed. That is the purpose behind a temporary sign. What does this road sign inform road users of? Here's the sign. And yeah, it's an exit ahead on a freeway in good time. Let's look at the sign again and let's look at the answer. It says,
Hello.
Okay. And exit ahead on a freeway in good time. That's the answer. It's A. And exit ahead of on the freeway in good time. That's the answer. Then what is this road sign called? This road sign, what is it called? Is it A, an alternative road maker, B, a map type trailblazer? The answer is C. It's an advanced trailblazer. This is an advanced trailblazer, right? And then let's move on to the next sign. The appropriate reaction to this sign is to be on the lookout for vehicles doing lane changes, especially from the right. Be on the lookout for vehicles doing lane changes, especially from the left. I mean, from the left. That's the answer there. And then the next question is, a person driving a vehicle on a public road A, may leave the vehicle unattended without applying a service brake to prevent it from moving. Leave a vehicle unattended may not. The answer, I think the question is not complete. The question is, a person driving a vehicle on a public road may not A, leave a vehicle unattended without applying a service brake, preventing it from moving. So that's the actual question there. And then we go to this one. In a light motor vehicle, the load should not project more than A, 2.6 meters, B, 4.3 meters high, or C, half of your vehicle's height. So in a light motor vehicle, a load should not project more than half of your vehicle's height. So a load projection it's something you might be carrying maybe with your vehicle. So it should not be half of your vehicle's height, right? In a light motor vehicle, that is. And then let's move on to the next question. A safe following distance is when the vehicle in front of you suddenly stops, you could A, swerve and pass, B, stop without swerving, C, swerve and then stop next to it. So the correct answer there is B. You could swerve without, stop without swerving. And then we move on to the next question. What color and size must flags be to indicate a load projection on a vehicle on a public road? So the answer there is they must be red and at least 300 millimeters by 300 millimeters. So the color is red and the length is 300 millimeters by 300 millimeters. And then let's move on to the next one. Last action that you must take before moving to another lane is, the last action is B. You must check the blind spot. That's the last action. You check the blind spot, then move on to another lane. And then here is another question. When the robot is red and the green arrow flashes to the right, the robot is red and the green arrow flashes to the right, it shows you that A, if you want to turn right, you may go. That's the answer. If you want to turn right, you may go in that case. And then let's move on to the next question. When a vehicle is standing still, what must the driver do to make sure that the motor vehicle does not move? Is it A, the parking brake must be applied? That's the answer. The parking brake must be applied. We call it number 7. Number 7 must be applied to make sure that the vehicle does not move. And then the next question, what is the function of a clutch? A clutch, remember, is number 8. It's found on manual vehicles. It's not found on automated vehicles. That's another fact. And it is used to disconnect the engine from transmission. In some cases, it will say it is used to disengage the engine from transmission, right? It's used to disconnect the engine from transmission. That's the function of the clutch. And then let's move on to the next question. This sign warns a driver that here is the sign. It's a T-junction, as we can see. It's a side junction. The answer there is A side road junction from the right is ahead. A side road junction from the right is ahead. A side road T junction from the right is ahead. That's the answer. When may a driver disobey the rules of the road? So the answer in this case is A, when directed to do so by a traffic officer. Next question. When driving a motor vehicle, what is the minimum safe following distance to maintain when following another vehicle? So the answer in this case is B. A distance is determined by means of the 2-second rule. It's determined by means of the 2-second rule. And then we move on to the next one. When may you stop in front of this sign? I think this sign, it should be an arrestor bed. So sorry about that. It's not there, and you never stop in front of an arrestor bed. So when may you not drive into an intersection? So the answer there is A. There is not enough space in the intersection to turn right without blocking other traffic. The correct answer is A. So then the next question is, when you are involved in an accident, you, number 1, must immediately stop your vehicle. Number 2, must determine the damages to the vehicle. Number 3, may refuse to give your name and address to anyone except the police. So the correct answer in this case is it's C, which is all of the above. All of the above, they apply when you are involved in an accident. And then next question. When you are involved in an accident, number 1, must immediately stop your vehicle. Number 2, must see if someone is injured. Number 3, may use a bit of alcohol. So the correct answer there, it's A. Number 1 and 2 are correct. And then we move on. If you come across an emergency vehicle on the road sounding a siren, the correct thing to do is C, give right of way to the emergency vehicle. And then next question. Whilst the vehicle is in motion, a driver may A, not hold a cell phone with any part of the body. And then the next question, when can you come across this sign? I'm going to skip that one because I think I might have forgotten. And does this road marking have the same purpose as the stop sign? The correct answer is true. This road is a road marking. You'll find it right on the road, unlike a road sign that you find next on the road. So it performs the same function as the road sign that you would typically find next to the road. So the next question is, what is important regarding the hooter of your vehicle? So the answer there is the tone and pitch of the sound may not change. And then let's move on to the next one. What does this sign forbid? Is it prevents all vehicles from entering where the sign is displayed. So this is no entry sign or a do not enter sign, no entry or do not enter sign. And then when you see this sign for 2 kilometers, you can see it's a prohibition sign. It says no overtaking is prohibited for the next 2 kilometers, and that is B. And then you must stop your vehicle. Number one, on a public road at the signal of someone driving ships. Number two, on a freeway when directed to do so by a traffic officer. Then number three, on any road to avoid an accident. So the correct answer here is C, all of the above. And then let's move on to the next question. When approaching this sign, the driver must, here's the sign. The driver know that he is being warned of a stop ahead. The driver must know that he is being warned of a stop sign ahead. And then this sign indicates it indicates the direction to a freeway. This sign indicates a direction to a freeway. And then an accident in which no one is injured must be reported within B. It must be reported within 24 hours. Within 24 hours. What does this control sign indicate? The road turning to the left is a one-way road. That's the purpose of this sign. And this road marking show you a lane that the answer is B. You may follow if you want to go to the airport. It shows you a lane that you may follow if you want to go to the airport. The background color of a temporary sign, I think we did speak about a temporary sign, and we said that know that conditions or circumstances of the road have changed when you see it. So the background color of a temporary sign is usually yellow. That's the color of a temporary sign. And then this sign shows you that here's our sign. The road ends ahead. The answer is A. The road ends ahead. Then we keep moving. What are the requirements for a vehicle being used with excessive noise? So the answer there is C. No person shall operate a vehicle on a public road that causes excessive noise. And then what is the duty of a driver when driving on a public road that has been divided into two or more roadways? So the answer in this case, on the left-hand roadway, unless directed or shown to do so by a traffic officer. And let me repeat that question. What is the duty of a driver when driving on a public road that is divided into two roadways? So the driver must drive on the left roadway. Must drive on the left roadway unless directed or shown by a traffic officer to a traffic officer. Then the responsibility of the driver to always keep to the left on a two-way roadway. When you encounter this road marking, the correct reaction would be, the answer is C, to yield the right of way to any vehicle which crosses the line before you. And then here is another sign. This sign prohibits cars to turn right ahead. That's the answer. It's B, cars to turn right ahead. And then what does this road sign indicate? That you have the right of way at the next intersection. You have the right of way at the next intersection. Then when you drive, B, your vision of the road and traffic must be unobstructed. That is when you drive. And then let's move on to the next one. You may cross onto a public road. A, if the road is clear of traffic for a long distance and it can be done so without obstructing traffic. And then which control you must use when it is raining. So number two is the control that you use is wipers. By the way, you use wipers when it is raining, so wipers are number two. Then this sign confirms a toll pay road and an alternative road to a toll pay road. So it indicates a toll pay road and an alternative road to a toll pay road. As you can see, the toll pay road it's only 105 kilometers, and the alternative is 121 kilometers. And when seeing this sign, you should know this sign. The answer there is an emergency phone ahead in 500 meters. That's the indication of that sign. And yeah, I think we are done for the day. Let me stop sharing and stop recording. Yeah, okay, stop the recording.